So too many of my friends have been complaining about back problems, neck problems, shoulder problems, joint problems, hip joint sciatica and so on. And I wanted to share this simple 5 to 7 minute routine that I do every day. And at the end of the video, I'll tell you the best place to do it every day so it becomes a habit. And you'll find that with this routine, your spine stays supple, and as they say in yoga, your age is determined by the suppleness of your spine. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing is find a seat which is where your feet are comfortably on the ground and your hands rest on your knees, and then let's start rotational movement. So rotate your shoulders in the shoulder sockets, and try to get your laterals involved in the action. And massage your knees, because the knee joint needs to be massaged every morning. It's one of the key joints of the human body. So then do it the other way, and as you do it the other way, don't forget to massage your quads in all directions and get the blood flowing in the quads. Then quickly give a little quick massage to your calves. Squeeze them and push them and so on. And then lift your ankles up and rotate them in and out a few times. One direction, the other direction, and try to push down on your toes. So keep your ankles up and push down on your toes. Okay, so we've got that much done. So now let's start focusing on the spine. So we take the spine and we break it up into 3 segments. The segment from the sacrum to the thoracic area, so that includes the lumbar, and we just move the pelvic bowl backwards and forward. So you rock it backwards and forward, and keep the rest of the body absolutely still. So essentially your lumbar is going backwards and forwards as the pelvic bowl tilts forward and backwards. So you do that 10 times. For this video, I'll probably do most of these repetitions 4 or 5 times, but you should do them 10 times. Then you keep your body absolutely straight. Sit on your sitting bones always, and keep your lumbar and everything in their normal curve. And then let's just focus on getting the thoracic moving up and down. So the thoracic is a very rigid section of your spine because it's connected to all these different, a whole bunch of ribs, but you try to expand it and compress it, expand it and flex it as much as you can. Then keep the lumbar and thoracic portion of the spine straight, and let's focus on the cervical spine. And you bring the chin down to your sternum and all the way back, and try to focus on getting as extended a movement as possible. So when your chin comes down to the sternum, see that you're pulling the sternomastoidal muscles as much as possible, and when you put your head, relax your head back, relax the neck muscles and pull with the lower muscles. While you're doing this, keep your shoulders level. then keep the whole spine straight, but only focus on moving your neck backwards and forwards. And you can move your shoulders front and back in contraposition to your neck movement. So when the neck comes front, the shoulders go back, the shoulder blades come together. When your neck goes in the front, the shoulder blades expand and your neck goes back. So this will relax and release a lot of tension in the shoulder blades, in the shoulder area, which we carry a lot. And now move all the way from the lumbar, sacrum, lumbar, thoracic, and cervical, all the way back and forth. And as I said, all repetitions 10 times. And if you're obviously short of time, you can cut everything down to 6 or even 3. And if some particular portion feels very rigid, very kind of sluggish, do more. And you'll find that by the time you're at the 6th or 7th or 10th or 12th repetition, it has started opening up. So all it requires for suppleness is for blood flow to get there. Okay, now that we've got the vertical portion of the spine, properly exercised and invigorated, let's focus on the sideways movement. After all, the spine is exactly what the snake has got, and the snake uses the spine in order to move ahead, right? So with that wriggly motion, and that's what we have to do. So now you take your pelvic bowl, keep everything stable, and move the pelvic bowl up and down. So it's like a ship that's rocking from side to side. But the rest of the spine is stable. So only the lumbar area of the spine is shifting up and is going from side to side as the pelvic bowl goes up and down. And you'll find that a lot of your transverse muscles on the side on your abdomen are being exercised. Okay, then after you've done a bunch of those, you keep that stable and you move your thoracic area, right and left. And now you move your neck, and always keep your shoulders at peace, level, and when you stretch to one side, see that you stretch, the two muscles are acting in contra, right? So one muscle is contracting, one muscle is extending. So the muscle that's extending needs to be relaxed. The muscle that is contracting needs to be energized, right? So don't forget to pay attention to the fact that every movement needs two muscles, one to relax, one to contract. And we have to keep remembering that which are the two muscles that are making this movement happen. So the muscles that contract have to be energized, the muscles that relax have to be, the nerves have to be given signals to relax. Okay, now that we have done that, now we move the neck from side to side. So when I move the neck to the right side, I'm actually internally moving my shoulder out while I'm pulling with these muscles to the side. And you'll hear all kinds of weird sounds, but that's because, there's a lot of calcification or some other junk that is collected in that area. Because this is not a movement that we do all the time. Now that we have got the spine properly energized in the vertical area, in the lateral area, let's get all the motions put together. So you take your neck and you rotate it all the way to the left, all the way to the front, all the way to the side and back. And the rest of the body stays calm for the first 5 rotations, and then you slowly add all the other parts of the spine into the action. So you're going all the way. Once you've done enough repetitions, let's go the other way. And then you bring the spine into the action. And obviously, as you bring your spine into the action, remember, start focusing on the abdominal muscles. These are the muscles that are making the spine go from side to side. The transverse muscles, the rectus abdominis, all of them come into action as you do this. I'm finding that even the butt muscles are coming into the action, the gluteus maximus, minimus, etc. But you can see that, this really gets all the dozens of muscles in the pelvic area energized. Okay, so now we've gotten the neck done in many, many different ways, and now we've got to get the rotation of the neck done. So bring the neck to the sternum, scrape your chin all the way to the left, then back, and to the left now, and scrape your chin against your chest and all the way to the right again. So 5 of these, and as time goes on, you start bringing the eyes into the action. So you take your eyes and have them rotate in the same direction, ahead of the rotation of the neck. So when your neck is to the left, you're looking to the right. When your neck is to the, and the eyeballs are moving in the eye socket, in sync with the movement of the neck. Once you have that, let's take care of our TMJ. See that TMJ never happens. You take your thumb and you put it right on your jaw, right below the ear, and then you take your front part of your finger, of your palm, and push your jaw all the way to the left. Because the lower jaw is flexible, the upper jaw is rigid, it's connected to the skull, while the lower jaw is actually flexible, so it allows us to masticate. So you basically take your lower jaw and stretch it, and you're stretching one of the strongest, second strongest muscles probably after the tongue, and that is the TMJ, muscular, TMJ muscle. And you stretch it, and then you go and hold your shoulder, and then with your thumb you push to the left, and with your neck muscles you pull to the right. So you create a torque in the TMJ muscle and really give it a nice stretch for 5 breaths. And with your eyes you look down and see the floor. Bring your neck down to the chest, then scrape your chest as you move to the side. My eyes are rotating in the eye socket in harmony with the the neck movement. And once you have that well done, then you try to move the eye socket in the reverse direction to your neck movement. And that is quite tricky, but you know, you'll find that that's a new pattern of neural connections that are possible to make if you just do it for a few weeks in a conscious manner. So then you get there, you put your finger on the next to the ear, pull the skin down a little bit, get your jaw, separate it from the lower jaw, upper jaw, and hold your shoulder. And with the shoulder, push it back with your thumbs, push as much as you can for 5 breaths and look down at the floor. Okay, so we have managed to get all of this done, right? So now what we do is we give a total twist to our body. So with your right hand, grab the corner of the seat. With your left hand, get your right knee and then push yourself down with your back hand so that your spine is straight, and then you rotate. And you rotate 4 or 5 breaths. And then you stretch your shoulder, you stretch your body forward so that your entire back muscles and everything gets a very nice stretch. And then you do about 3 to 5 of these kinds of movements, lateral movements. We've done that. Now we put this arm here, this arm goes to the back seat, push so that I'm sitting straight, and then turn. So you get the torque using your right hand and you pulling with your left hand, and that way you get your torque. And then as you're stretched out completely, then you go down. Okay, so now we've managed to get the torque, we've managed to get the vertical suppleness going, this horizontal suppleness going. I'm sure we can move like a snake now. Okay, now we've got to go ahead and move ahead and get some shoulder movements going in the shoulder sockets. So you come all the way down and always keep your spine completely stretched out. So as much as you can, and you can do that. At that time you have to pull your abdomen in, and with your hands you push so that you come as far ahead as possible. So you're giving a nice stretch to your spine, and then give some rotational movement. So the left arm is pushing up, the right arm is resisting gravity. And you do a few of these, and then you go the other direction. Try to make it like a wave that is flowing through your upper chest, all the way from your hands, all the way to your upper chest. Wherever possible, we want to get a pattern going in the body. Then push with your hands so that you're stretching out, and then bring your elbows right in the front as much as possible, and try to relax your head so you go further and further down. Your head weighs about 25 pounds, and that weight gives a very nice elongating stretch to the cervical body. and the rest of the spine, and then come up. Then another one. Now all of this is obviously coordinated with the breath. So I exhale as I go down all the way, and then empty the breath completely at the bottom. Stay there for a few seconds. Lock the neck and open the neck out and take a breath. So now you fill your lungs. As you stretch out, breathe out, 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 all the way till you're empty. Hold it for a few seconds and then slowly curve up your spine. So when the spine goes down, first your lumbar goes down as the pelvic bowl tilts, then your chest goes down, and then finally your cervix goes down, all the way down. And then you're coordinating everything with the breath. And so exhale breath. Hold the exhale breath all the way till you come to this level, and then let it, and then start breathing. Okay, so we've taken a breath. When we come to a point where you have to breathe out, you start breathing out all the way down, empty it, do a neck lock. Now breathe. So we've got 4 stages of breathing. Breathe in, hold, exhale, and hold the exhalation. So these are 4 steps of hold the empty lungs. So these are 4 steps that have to be remembered in every posture that we do in yoga. And then as time goes on, you'll start integrating your breath into this work, and it'll completely occupy you because you are watching what's going on and you are managing your breath and you're managing, so your mind has got no time to be distracted by anything. So it's in about 5 to 7 minutes you'll find that you're completely invigorated from your tip of your toes all the way to the top of your head. And so how do you do this every day? I mean, how do you remember to do this every day? So the best place to do it, believe it or not, is on the potty. And what you'll find, one amazing benefit of doing this exercise on the potty is that you get the best, cleanest movement ever. With that, good luck and happy spine.